Hello. Something a little bit more unusual again today. You remember I did a battle report for when the Hobgoblins came out, um, and they're receiving a beta update now. So we're going to have a look at it today. So on the left, on this side, we've got the new book, and on the right is the old one, so the one before the update. So let's take a look through. We're just going to scroll through and pick out all the changes. So. There's a little bit of a clarification here between warrior vassals going forward. So it's just a words change, so nothing crazy rules-wise. In the army model rules, however, you might notice that... Can we get these to line up? We can. Might notice that we're missing the Hobgoblin Scimitar. That's been taken out. What else is so? The Iron Rain is the same, Infernal Armor's the same, Blunderbuss, Flintlock Axe all the same, but Hobgoblin Scimitar has been removed, and we'll have a look at a little bit more about what's happened with that going forward. The Hereditary Spell has been changed to TAD. It used to be just target gains unstable, but now targets with Supernal can't take their break tests. So Supernal have unstable anyway, that's baked into Supernal. So originally, Chains of Pride wouldn't have any effect on demons, for example, or the Kadim in an ID book. But now you stop them from taking their break test, and they automatically go through to start taking the wounds, which is pretty cool. So a little bit of a buff there for the Hereditary, and a clarification, I think, it potentially as well, but mostly a buff. In the special items, Elemental Plate has gotten a little bit cheaper. Death's Head Aura has also gotten 5 points cheaper. Wicked Serrations has changed. Originally it was a Hobgoblin Scimitar specific item. Now it's just a great weapon with lightning reflexes, so essentially the same. You always get your +2 strength, you always get the plus AP, so it's not specific on enemies anymore, which is nice. So huge buff, I think, for Wicked Serrations, and it's gone up 5 points, which is nice, and it's a lot simpler, so you don't have to keep looking up exactly what a Hobgoblin Scimitar is. A little bit of clarification there, but looks things in Sartosh's chains. Characters have seen a big change. So originally we had the Shah and the Hobgoblin Chief, but that has been now rolled into a single character called a Satrap. That might be a horrible mispronunciation. I'll splice something in here if I have got it wrong. So Archery Commander and Cavalry Commander are still there as they were on the old Hobgoblin Chief. They now do a little bit more. Well, clarification in here with the Archery Commander that you can't get extra bonuses from having multiple Archery Commanders. I don't think you'd be able to anyway, but that's a clarification. The Cavalry Commander has changed. Originally it was a Devastating Charge +1 advance, which was pretty crazy because you could put them in, for example, a big unit of 5 Tuskers with him on a Tusker, then give him a speed banner. The army's got access to Witchcraft, so you could buff them up to potentially move 8, move 9 with a banner, 10 with this, advance 12 before they do their charge, so that's been taken out, which is nice. Now Cavalry Commander gives +1 offensive skill and Weapon Master. You have to take a mount, which is the same as the old one, and you can reroll 1s when you're charging, which is, you know, probably about the same as a Devastating Charge +1 advance, but without the certainty of it, so I think that's a good change. The Shah is still in the book, but as a general only upgrade, so like the Jarl upgrade in Asklanders, and the... I can't remember the name of the upgrade, but the Makar has got something similar as well. So your general can take a specific upgrade. That gives him +1 agility, +1 discipline, and +1 attack value, and it ups his special item allowance, which is as well, which is nice. In the old book, you could just take multiple Shahs, and they'd all have Lord level special item allowances. So that's a nice change. It's all sensible. But you might notice that the Alpha Karkadan has been taken out. So it's no longer an Alpha Karkadan. It's the Drum Gogyag. And that's the next thing to look at. So slight clear up with the Pyromancy on an Infernal Lackey. Of course, there's no Hobgoblin Chief. None of the mounts have changed between Mountain Wolf, Bear Dog, and Plains Tusker. But the Alpha Karkadan has been taken out and replaced with a Drum Gogyag. So This is a war platform that has to start in Blasted Plains emissaries or Hob levies units. The March test due to the Dromgogyag's unit and March to the Beat has been extended to 18 inches. So like a Ogre Khan's giant now. The AP on this is wrong. I think where they've switched it, as far as I know, that's wrong. So this should be AP2. But you know, no more Taurosaur-esque cowboys for Hobgoblins. A little bit of a points change for core here. So I've asked about the weapons choices because originally it looked like this, and then it got changed to you can take a bow and then you can get one other option. It's gone back to you can take any of these options. And personally, I don't think there's particularly a downside to just taking every single option. These first two are free. So, well, you don't need to bother with the shields, but the paired weapons are free, so you take that. Spear and shield you might as well for a point. Take the bow for the Iron Rain. And then Halberd and Heavy Armour gives them a 4-up save with spears or a 5+ save with either paired weapons or halberds, and I don't think there's any particular downside to that. So we'll see if that stays as it is. The Hob Slingers have been changed considerably. They're now Hob Auxiliaries, and you can either choose Slingers to stay exactly as they were in the old book, or you can upgrade them to Disciples, which is the new Tyrannical Disciples. As this was originally a copy of Peasant Crusaders in the Slim book for Kingdom of Equitaine. That's been taken out, slotted into core, made a little bit simpler. I think it's a little bit more like was it Backstabbers in the old ID book? So their close combat gain +1 to hit and +1 AP. They gain Swift Stride if they're charging the flank or the rear. So a little bit nicer. It's a nice callback to the old ID book, which is good. Mountain Wolf Cavalry hasn't changed. Hob Cataphracts, however, have changed considerably because the Eternals unit is no more. They've been rolled into Hob Cataphracts as an upgrade. So you can either take Cataphracti as an upgrade for your Cataphracts, and that gives them Lance, Paired Weapons, Heavy Armour, Shield, and Weapon Master to be like the old Cataphracts. Or you can give them Eternals, which gives them a Great Weapon, which is, you know, the change from Hobgoblin Scimitars. They gain Infernal Armour and Hatred against Beast and Cavalry. So I think that's probably for the best, especially it gets rid of the old Offensive 5 on Goblins, which, you know, considering humans are capped at 5 if they're either a character or magical, I think that's a good change. Lines up with background better, and it makes the book simpler as well. No more book-specific weapons, which is nice and simple, which is what you want with a supplement book. You don't want it to be overly complicated, because if you do roll into it in a tournament setting, you don't want them to be telling you, oh yeah, I've got a book-specific weapon. So nice and simple, nicer to follow. Tuskma Houts are the same. The Dromgogyag got, of course there's no Tyrannical Disciples anymore, the Dromgogyag got 20 points cheaper, and the March to the Beat and March test due to the Dromgogyag's unit has been extended from 12 inches to 18 to match the Ogre Khan's giant. And then Blasted Plains emissaries, so they've gotten, 5 points cheaper to start, and additional models have gone up a point. The Flintlock axes have got slightly more expensive, and... oh no, sorry, the other way around. The Flintlock axes and Blunderbusters are now 4 points each. And final change is 2 points fewer 2 points cheaper for additional models in the Sky Mountain emissaries, which are the goblins riding camels with bombardier guns. And then Hob Ballistas are the same. Oh. Yep, no changes there. And then there's the changelog at the end of the book. And that's everything. So I think, you know, solid changes throughout. I think removing the Hobgoblin Scimitar is a very good idea. I think streamlining the Alpha Carcadan to just be another Dromgogyag is probably better for the book. I think the Alpha Carcadan was fun, but giving them a Taurosaur for no particular reason didn't make an awful lot of... well, I think it's probably better for external balance than background. I don't think there's any particular issue with them having them in the background, but rules-wise, it's simpler having one fewer monster in the book. And that's everything. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Let me know down below what you think of Hobgoblins, if you've played any of the supplement books, which one's your favourite, whether you think they're a bit nonsense or whatever. Just let me know. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.